Tobago updates. Na, 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 na. Good morning, Tobago. Na, 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 na. Let's go.
And welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Viewers, now we are chatting with something that is going to help benefit the cocoa industry here in Tobago. Yes, we still have a cocoa industry. It might be small, but we still have a little bit of it. And the intention is to grow that because we know the best cocoa in the world comes from Trinidad and Tobago. So I'm being joined by Mr. Duane Dove right now. And of course, you know him as the owner of Tobago Cocoa Estate. So good morning and welcome to you, Mr. Dove, coming to us all the way from Sweden.
Yes, good morning. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Great. So now we are talking about something that is really going to help you all out there as we are trying to revive the cocoa industry. And that has to do with this bird whaler system that's being set up, because we know that as much as we love the parrots, as much as we love the coquelicot and so on, they are detrimental to the cocoa industry because they literally eat everything. So tell me about how this new bird whaler system is supposed to work and how it will help you guys.
Well, first and foremost, I just have to say before I forget, kudos to the collaboration between CADI, the THA, and Digicel, because without this collaboration, we would not actually have this device in Tobago as it is right now. So we are one of the farms that actually, well, we had it. Right now it's kind of floating around the island. It's being tested at different farms to see the effect. And I mean, we have been waiting for a solution like this for 13 years, you know, so it is way overdue, basically.
Tell me about the concerns that you guys have. So I know that the birds are really a big challenge. Let's explain to us exactly how bad it is, how much it affects the ability to revive the cocoa industry.
Well, I mean, as I have said throughout all the years, we cannot even think about getting back into cocoa unless we deal with the parrot problem. Getting free cocoa trees or plants, getting land, getting labor, that's the least of our problems. We need to deal with the parrot problem. We received our first harvest 2009. We made our first chocolate January 2010. January 2011, that is when we started to get hit by the parrots. And as it is right now, we are losing over 50% of our harvest every year because of the parrots.
And now that you have
That's a
this
lot.
bird whaler system being tested out in Tobago, is it working?
Yes, definitely. We saw already the first day that that device was installed on the farm that there was no sight of any parrot activity. The 3 weeks we had it, no sight of any parrot activity. But I just want to say that this Wailer device is just one of several things we need to do to combat the parrot problem. So we cannot just depend on the Wailer. We need to go further. We need to basically have a team to actually remove the eggs from the nest of the parrots. We need to cull the birds. There's a huge population of parrots. We need to bring that population down. And we also need to introduce wild hawks to the area again. So all of these things together is long term. So we can't look at this Wailer as just a one-hit wonder, and we have to continue. We have to do several things.
Yes, certainly. But can you explain a little bit about how the whaler works?
Right. So it's a device. It's powered. It's solar powered, so it's environmentally friendly. And I actually contacted our our inspector, our organic inspector, to find out whether we could have this on the farm. And of course, we got approval, so no problem. All right. So it's on a scaffolding. All right. It's located center of the estate, and it's a combination. It's a small box with 4 speakers. And it really sends out different sounds, different frequencies, right? That scares the birds away. It makes the birds feel that they're in distress, right? A hawk coming, somebody trying to shoot them. So that is what scares the birds away. But you see, these birds are so smart. If they keep hearing the noise, but they're not seeing any casualties. You understand? And after a while, they will just get accustomed to the sounds, basically.
And hence the need for being able to cull the bird population on the land.
Yes, we have too many birds. You know, those parrots are like an apex animal. They don't have any enemies, so they just more and more parrots all the time. So that's why we need to. This has to be a long term effort. And as I said, you can't just buy a whole bunch of whalers and place them all over the island. I mean, then the parrots will come into your gardens and eat up all your lettuce and your whatever. So it has to be. You have to bring the population down. Basically, you have to do that.
Now, other than the bird population, or what are the other concerns that you all have that is preventing us from really being able to start reviving the cocoa industry?
Well, I mean, a lot of people say how labor is a problem, all right, and a lot of the young generation in Tobago are disconnected from cocoa, well, agriculture on the whole. So that is an issue. That is a big problem. But I think incentives are also, encouraging, trying to generate some local production to get people interested. I mean, in summertime, we have a lot of school groups that come up to the estate, for camp and all these kind of different things. And that's a way to get them involved again and get them interested, and of course, give them chocolates. But it's a lot of hard work, with cocoa farming. So we need to encourage people. We need to lock them into this industry again, and that is something that needs to be done to get people more involved.
Now, I know climate change is also one of the issues in terms of being able to grow the cocoa properly, because you need certain temperatures at night, certain cooler temperatures at night. And with the way things are changing now, our temperatures are increasing at the night, and that is working against the ability of the cocoa trees to be able to give us a good harvest like we used to long time. Um, I mean, is there any solutions being explored where those things are concerned?
Well, we are definitely seeing the effects of the global climate change. I've been seeing that for about 5, 6 years now. The rainy season is becoming more intensive. You're getting too much precipitation all at once, which means that you'll get disease, fungus disease, and that leads to black pod, which kills the pods, destroys your crop. And also in the dry season, it's very intensely dry. It's biscuit dry, so you have bushfires. The trees are stressed because they're not getting enough water. And that all of this, affects your yields, at the end of the day. So this is affecting your production. So you're losing crop because of the parrots, and then you're not getting the crop that you're supposed to get because of the weather change. Now, you see the climate change thing, that is not something that is a quick fix. That is definitely long term. What my agronomist is telling me is that the cocoa tree will eventually sort of adjust itself, from due to the weather, right? So instead of starting harvesting in October, we might start harvesting in December, and then the harvest will prolong maybe until August instead of finishing in June. So that will probably happen eventually, but we don't have like a exact date when is that going to happen. So I think and it's more man hours when the weather comes like this, because we have to do more pruning, more regular pruning. Pruning is an expensive task, right? So there are more cost involved, all right? Because if we don't prune, all right, and have good airflow, the disease will grow, right? So it's becoming more expensive, to upkeep the farm because of the climate change, and then you have losses because of the parrot problem. So to tell people to get into cocoa now, I think we need to first and foremost deal with the parrot problem. And then after that, we need to try to get people interested from a young age back into cocoa again. Maybe you need to have like forums in schools, and have lectures and this kind of stuff, and get cocoa back into the curriculum, maybe. I don't know, something along those lines. And if the photos you are seeing there right now that is to show you the massive damage that we get from these birds. They're like flying piranhas.
Which is so unfortunate because, like I said at the opening, is that Tobago and Trinidad produces some of the best cocoa in the world. We are known worldwide.
Yep. We have our wonderful Trinitario, and we have about 8 different strains of Trinitario planted at Tobago Cocoa Estate. And these different strains, because of how we planted them, because of how we ferment and how we dry, how we store, all right? I mean, everything is done on a micro basis, and we get to retain all those wonderful Trinitario flavors, characteristic for the bean, and that reflects, all right, in the chocolates that I make, right? And that's why we get in awards all the time. In December here, we got 3 international awards, 2 silvers and a bronze in London, and we just delivered samples for the European World Chocolate Awards coming up in June. So, and we're going to win awards again. We're going to do it because we have good stuff. We have good raw material, and we make great chocolates, right? So, but in Trinidad and Tobago, especially in Trinidad, is seeing a lot of problems also from climate change and from power damage. So the cocoa numbers in Trinidad and Tobago are, I mean, it's a shame to say the tonnage that Trinidad is producing compared to the 1930s, when cocoa was king.
Certainly. Now, I also want to talk a little bit about just even the relationship with the THA, because we saw at the end of last year, beginning of this year, a couple of consultations with the public about reviving the cocoa industry. And from those, have you been a part of those conversations? And if you have been a part of those conversations, are you confident that the THA is going in the right direction in terms of working with the stakeholders to let's see how we can really revive in spite of the challenges that we are facing?
I must say that this present THA, government crew team, I call them a team, have been fabulous. I mean, I've gotten so much good, positive response and assistance from both the Honorable Chief Secretary. He listens, and I think he's doing the best that he can based on the circumstances. And I can also say this for the secretary, agricultural secretary. I mean, herself and we have had many discussions as to how to deal with this problem. So there's a genuine interest. And I mean, just to throw in some tourism there, I mean, Secretary Burris also, a good energy, a good vibe, but I guess, they can only go that far because they have restrictions and circumstances. But I had a very nice, productive meeting with all the secretaries last year. July, actually before the cocoa season begun, and it's really the results of those meetings that we now have the Wailer in Tobago. So I mean, I've been waiting 13 years for something like this to happen, all right? And all of a sudden now, at least within 6 months, something has happened. So I see that as huge progress.
And certainly, and we are looking forward for more progress because, of course, we want our cocoa industry to go back up. I mean, we want you to be able to produce more chocolate so we can be on the world, especially where chocolate is concerned, because it's such a wonderful thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh yes, well that is what we want to do. So I'm hoping that the Wailer will come back to Tobago Cocoa Estate soon, because it's obviously floating around the island, the gathering research information, and that's fully understandable. But I think, as I said, we cannot just depend on the Wailer. We have to do some culling also. That is the next step.
All right, great. I want to thank you so much, Mr. Dove, for being on with us. I'll be looking forward for you to be back in studio. And of course, for us to have some more chocolate from you, because it is some of the best.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
All right, great. Well, viewers, I want to thank you all for being here with us. It was certainly such a pleasure to be on the show this morning. So I hope you have a safe and wonderful day, and we will see you again tomorrow. And of course, best of luck to our SAA students out there today. And I hope you are rocking your socks, because of course today is World Down Syndrome Day, and we got to show our support to that community. And it's not just about wearing your socks, it's also about making sure that we as citizens do our best to support those who are Down syndrome, because they are literally one of us. They're just a little bit different, but at the end of the day, they're still people. They can still make very meaningful contributions to our society, and there's no reason why they should be ostracized or treated differently just because, of how they were born. All right, so viewers, hope you have a safe one for day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
Together we're strong.